Coffee is one of the most consumed beverages in the United States. Millions of people start their morning with it, rely on it for energy, and drink multiple cups a day without ever questioning what's actually inside that cup. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Not all coffee is created equal. Some of the most popular coffee brands on grocery store shelves may be made from low-grade beans, heavily over-roasted to hide defects, treated with pesticide residues, or processed in ways that increase the risk of mold contamination. Many flavored coffees contain artificial additives, and some instant varieties go through aggressive processing that strips away quality while keeping the caffeine hit. The problem isn't drinking coffee. The problem is drinking low-quality coffee every single day without knowing it. When coffee becomes a daily habit, the quality matters more than most people realize. Today, we're exposing 10 coffee brands you should avoid drinking right now, including some names you probably see every time you walk down the coffee aisle. But don't worry, this isn't about quitting coffee. At the end of this video, I'll show you 2 safer coffee brands that prioritize better sourcing, cleaner roasting practices, and higher quality beans. Before we dive in, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss these eye-opening breakdowns. Let's get into it. 1. Folgers Classic Roast. Folgers Classic Roast is one of the most recognizable coffee brands in the United States, largely because of its long-standing presence and affordability. However, popularity does not always equal quality. One of the primary concerns with mass-market coffee brands like Folgers is the use of lower-grade commodity beans. These beans are often sourced in bulk from multiple regions and may include a mix of Robusta and lower-quality Arabica varieties. Robusta beans naturally contain more caffeine but are often harsher and more bitter, which is why heavy roasting is frequently used to mask flavor defects. Over-roasting can create a burnt taste that many consumers associate with strong coffee, but it also destroys subtle flavor notes and may produce higher levels of bitter compounds. Another issue is sourcing transparency. Large commodity brands typically provide limited detail about farming practices, pesticide exposure, or bean origin traceability. While there is no direct evidence of harmful contamination in mainstream brands, commodity coffee is often grown using conventional agricultural methods that may involve pesticide use. Additionally, bulk storage and transportation conditions can influence freshness and quality. Coffee that sits in large silos before roasting may lose flavor integrity long before it reaches store shelves. Pre-ground coffee, which Folgers primarily sells, introduces another layer of concern. Once coffee is ground, it begins oxidizing immediately, losing aromatic compounds and freshness rapidly. By the time it reaches consumers, much of its original character may already be diminished. While Folgers is affordable and widely available, it reflects the broader issue of mass-produced coffee prioritizing volume and shelf stability over bean quality and traceability. Drinking it occasionally may not pose significant issues, but making it a daily staple means repeatedly consuming heavily roasted, lower-grade beans that lack transparency and freshness. When coffee is something consumed every single morning, ingredient quality and sourcing standards matter more than convenience or brand familiarity. 2. Maxwell House Original Roast. Maxwell House Original Roast is another long-standing American coffee brand that has built its reputation on consistency and affordability. However, much like other mass-market options, its production model raises quality concerns. Commodity coffee brands often rely on large-scale sourcing from mixed origins, meaning beans from multiple farms and regions are blended together. While this ensures flavor consistency, it can also mean lower-grade beans are included in the mix. To compensate for inconsistencies in bean quality, manufacturers often use darker roasting profiles. Dark roasting can create a bold flavor, but it also masks imperfections and reduces the complexity that high-quality beans naturally provide. Excessive roasting may also increase the formation of certain bitter compounds that affect taste and potentially digestive comfort for some individuals. Another issue is freshness. Maxwell House is typically sold pre-ground in sealed containers, which helps with shelf life but does not preserve peak flavor. Once coffee is ground, it begins losing volatile oils and aromatic compounds quickly. This means consumers may not be experiencing coffee at its freshest or most flavorful state. Sourcing transparency is another consideration. Large commercial brands often provide minimal information about farm-level practices, pesticide management, or specific growing regions. While this does not automatically imply contamination, it limits the consumer's ability to evaluate quality standards. Additionally, commodity coffee storage conditions prior to roasting can influence moisture exposure, which may increase the risk of quality degradation over time. The broader concern is not that Maxwell House is inherently unsafe, but that it represents industrial-scale coffee production focused on cost efficiency and mass distribution. When coffee is consumed daily, relying on heavily roasted pre-ground commodity blends may mean sacrificing freshness, complexity, and sourcing clarity. For those who value quality and transparency in their daily cup, there are better alternatives that prioritize bean selection, responsible sourcing, and roasting precision precision rather than volume and shelf life alone. 3. Starbucks ground coffee. Starbucks is globally recognized for premium branding and specialty cafe culture, but its grocery store ground coffee products raise important quality concerns. One of the most discussed issues is roast level. Starbucks is known for very dark roasting profiles, which create a bold, smoky flavor many consumers associate with strength and richness. However, darker roasting can mask inconsistencies in bean quality and reduce the nuanced flavor characteristics that higher quality beans naturally offer. While dark roast itself is not inherently harmful, excessive roasting can lead to a burnt taste and may diminish natural antioxidant compounds present in coffee. Another consideration is sourcing transparency. Starbucks does publish general sustainability commitments, but store shelf packaged blends often lack detailed traceability down to specific farms or microlots. Large-scale sourcing from multiple regions helps maintain consistent flavor, but may also blend varying bean grades. Additionally, pre-ground coffee loses freshness rapidly after grinding. Once exposed to oxygen, aromatic oils begin breaking down, which can impact flavor and overall quality by the time it reaches consumers. Storage duration on retail shelves further affects freshness. Another factor is flavored coffee varieties. Some packaged Starbucks blends include added flavorings, which may contain artificial compounds designed to enhance taste. While these additives are approved for consumption, they move the product further from pure coffee simplicity. The broader concern is that Starbucks' strong branding can create a perception of premium quality across all product lines. In reality, grocery store packaged blends are mass-produced to meet demand, not crafted as small-batch specialty roasts. Drinking Starbucks ground coffee occasionally is unlikely to present major issues, but using heavily dark roasted, pre-ground commodity blends daily may not provide the freshness or bean integrity that true specialty coffee offers. When coffee is consumed every morning, bean quality, roasting precision, and freshness make a significant difference in both flavor and overall experience. 4. Dunkin' Original Blend ground coffee. Dunkin' Original Blend is another popular grocery store coffee brand backed by a major cafe chain. While the brand emphasizes smoothness and consistency, the production scale raises similar concerns seen in other mass market options. Large volume sourcing typically means beans from multiple regions are blended to achieve uniform flavor. While this ensures predictability, it may also include lower grade beans mixed into the overall batch. To maintain a consistent taste profile across millions of pounds of coffee, roasting is standardized rather than tailored to highlight specific bean characteristics. This often results in a flavor that is neutral and balanced, but lacks complexity and depth. Another issue is pre-ground packaging. Once coffee is ground, exposure to oxygen accelerates flavor degradation. Even with sealed containers, ground coffee loses freshness faster than whole beans. Consumers purchasing Dunkin' ground coffee may not be experiencing optimal flavor integrity by the time it is brewed at home. Sourcing transparency is also limited. While large chains often discuss sustainability at a high level, detailed farm-level traceability is rarely provided on retail packaging. This makes it difficult for consumers to assess growing practices, pesticide exposure, or specific regional sourcing. Additionally, flavored versions of Dunkin' coffee may include added flavoring agents to create popular varieties. While commonly used in the industry, these additions shift the product away from pure, unaltered coffee. The broader concern is not immediate harm, but cumulative quality. When coffee is a daily ritual, drinking mass-produced, pre-ground blends may mean sacrificing freshness, flavor complexity, and sourcing clarity. Dunkin' Original Blend may deliver convenience and familiarity, but it reflects the industrial model of coffee production focused on consistency and scale rather than premium bean selection and careful small batch roasting. Over time, prioritizing quality over brand familiarity can significantly improve the overall coffee experience. 5. Nescafe Instant Coffee. Nescafe Instant Coffee is one of the most widely consumed coffee products in the world, largely because of its convenience and long shelf life. However, instant coffee goes through a very different production process compared to freshly roasted whole beans. To create instant coffee, brewed coffee is dehydrated through spray drying or freeze drying methods, then reconstituted later with hot water. While this makes preparation fast and easy, the additional processing can significantly impact flavor quality and overall freshness. Instant coffee is typically made from lower grade beans that are less suitable for premium whole bean roasting. Because flavor nuance is largely lost during dehydration, manufacturers often prioritize cost efficiency over bean complexity. Another concern is oxidation. The coffee used for instant products is brewed in large industrial batches before dehydration, meaning the flavor compounds have already been exposed to air and heat before packaging. While instant coffee remains safe to consume, the taste and aromatic integrity are dramatically reduced compared to freshly ground beans. Some F-flavored or specialty instant varieties may also contain added flavorings or stabilizers to improve taste after rehydration. Additionally, sourcing transparency is often limited in large instant coffee brands. Commodity-grade beans sourced in bulk are rarely traceable to specific farms or regions, reducing visibility into agricultural practices. While instant coffee is not inherently harmful, it represents a highly processed version of coffee that prioritizes speed and shelf stability over freshness and bean quality. For occasional use, convenience may outweigh these concerns. However, for individuals who consume coffee daily, relying on heavily processed instant varieties may mean sacrificing flavor integrity, bean traceability, and overall quality in exchange for speed. 6. Green Mountain Coffee Roasters. Green Mountain Coffee Roasters is a well-known brand commonly associated with single-serve pod systems. While it markets sustainability initiatives and flavor variety, certain quality concerns still apply. One primary issue is packaging format. Coffee pods are pre-ground and sealed long before reaching consumers. Even with airtight packaging, coffee begins losing volatile aromatic compounds soon after grinding. This means the flavor may not be as fresh or vibrant compared to freshly ground whole beans. Additionally, the need for consistency across pod production can encourage standardized roasting profiles rather than precision roasting tailored to specific bean origins. While Green Mountain offers various blends and flavored options, flavored pods often include added flavoring compounds that alter the natural coffee profile. These flavorings are designed to create sweetness or dessert-like characteristics without sugar, but they shift the product further from pure coffee. Another consideration is sourcing transparency. Although the company promotes sustainability commitments, detailed farm-level traceability is not always readily visible on retail packaging. Like many large-scale brands, Green Mountain sources beans in high volumes to meet demand, which may involve blending multiple grades and origins for consistency. The convenience of single-serve pods also encourages daily use without necessarily encouraging mindful selection of bean quality. Additionally, pod systems can expose coffee to additional heat during brewing, which may alter flavor extraction. While Green Mountain is not necessarily unsafe, it reflects the broader industrial coffee model focused on convenience, F-flavor variety, and scalability rather than small-batch roasting precision. For consumers who drink coffee daily and care about freshness, transparency, and bean quality, whole bean options roasted more recently may offer a superior experience compared to pre-ground pod-based systems. 7. 8 O'Clock Coffee Original. 8 O'Clock Coffee Original has been around for decades and is often viewed as a dependable, affordable supermarket staple. However, longevity in the market does not automatically mean high quality. Like many mass market brands, 8 O'Clock Coffee typically relies on large-scale commodity sourcing. This means beans are purchased in bulk from multiple regions and blended for consistency rather than selected for distinct flavor characteristics. While consistency is convenient, it often comes at the expense of traceability and transparency. Consumers rarely receive detailed information about specific farms, harvest conditions, or processing methods. Another concern is roasting style. To ensure uniform flavor across massive production volumes, roasting profiles are standardized. This can flatten subtle flavor notes and reduce complexity. Even medium roasts may lean darker than specialty grade standards, which can mask inconsistencies in bean quality. The brand primarily sells pre-ground coffee, and once coffee is ground, oxidation begins immediately. Even in sealed packaging, the aromatic oils that give coffee its freshness degrade over time. By the time the product reaches a consumer's kitchen, much of the original vibrancy may already be lost. Storage and distribution at large scale further extend the time between roasting and brewing. While there is no direct evidence that 8 O'Clock coffee poses health risks, the broader issue is quality compromise. Coffee is consumed daily by millions of people, and drinking lower-grade mass-produced blends every morning may mean sacrificing flavor integrity and bean freshness over the long term. Additionally, conventional commodity coffee farming often involves pesticide use, though retail packaging rarely clarifies agricultural practices. The lack of detailed sourcing information limits consumers' ability to evaluate quality beyond brand recognition. 8 O'Clock coffee may be affordable and widely available, but it represents industrial-scale coffee production designed for volume and cost efficiency. When coffee becomes a daily ritual, prioritizing freshness, traceability, and careful roasting can significantly improve both flavor experience and overall quality. 8. Seattle's Best Coffee positions itself as a smoother, more approachable alternative within the mass market coffee space, but similar concerns apply when evaluating overall quality. As a subsidiary of a large global corporation, production occurs at significant scale. Large-scale sourcing typically involves blending beans from various regions to maintain flavor consistency rather than highlighting single origin characteristics. While consistency appeals to many consumers, it may also mean lower-grade beans are incorporated into blends. To maintain a predictable taste profile, roasting is often standardized across large batches, which can result in flavor flattening and reduced complexity. Darker roasting styles are commonly used to create bold flavor while masking inconsistencies in raw bean quality. The brand also heavily promotes F-flavored varieties, which may include added flavoring compounds to achieve dessert-like profiles. While these additives are generally approved for use, they shift the product away from pure coffee simplicity. Most retail offerings are pre-ground, and as with other mass-market brands, this reduces freshness by the time the coffee is brewed. Oxidation begins immediately after grinding, and extended shelf time further impacts aroma and flavor integrity. Sourcing transparency is another area where information can be limited. While sustainability initiatives may be mentioned at a corporate level, specific farm-level traceability and growing practices are rarely highlighted clearly on packaging. This makes it difficult for consumers to assess agricultural standards or pesticide exposure. Seattle's Best Coffee may deliver convenience and recognizable flavor, but it reflects the broader industrial model focused on scale and market reach rather than small batch roasting precision. Occasional consumption is unlikely to cause harm, but when coffee is consumed every single day, quality, freshness, and transparency become far more important. Choosing freshly roasted whole beans from transparent sources can significantly elevate both flavor and confidence in what you are drinking. Now let's reset something important. Coffee itself is not the problem. In fact, high-quality coffee can be rich in antioxidants and part of a balanced lifestyle. The real issue is low-grade beans, over-roasting to mask defects, lack of sourcing transparency, and excessive processing that strips away freshness and complexity. When you drink coffee every single day, quality matters, freshness matters, transparency matters. Choosing better beans doesn't mean spending a fortune. It means paying attention to roast dates, sourcing information, and production methods. So now let's look at two safer coffee brands that prioritize quality over mass production and give you a cleaner, more transparent cup. Safe brand. Number 1, Counterculture. Counterculture coffee stands out as one of the strongest examples of what modern specialty coffee should look like. Unlike mass market brands that rely on anonymous commodity beans blended together from unknown sources, Counterculture focuses heavily on traceability and transparency. This means many of their coffees list specific farms, cooperatives, and growing regions directly on the packaging. For consumers, that level of transparency matters because it shows that the company is not simply buying the cheapest beans available on the global market. Instead, they build long-term relationships with farmers and producers who prioritize quality growing practices. One of the most important differences between specialty coffee and mass-market grocery store coffee is bean selection. Counterculture primarily uses high-grade Arabica beans rather than lower-quality Robusta varieties often found in cheaper blends. Arabica beans generally contain more nuanced flavor compounds and tend to produce smoother, less bitter coffee. When beans are grown at higher elevations and carefully processed after harvest, they develop complex natural flavor profiles that do not need to be hidden behind heavy roasting. Roasting style is another key factor that separates Counterculture from many mainstream brands. Large commodity coffee companies often roast beans extremely dark to mask defects and inconsistencies. While dark roasting can create bold flavor, it also burns away subtle characteristics that make coffee unique. Counterculture takes the opposite approach by roasting beans in smaller batches and carefully calibrating roast levels to highlight natural flavors instead of overpowering them. The result is coffee that tastes balanced and layered rather than bitter or burnt. Freshness is another area where Counterculture excels. Many grocery store coffees sit in warehouses for months before reaching store shelves. By the time they are brewed, much of the original aroma and flavor has already degraded. Counterculture prints clear roast dates on their packaging, encouraging consumers to use the beans while they are still fresh. Coffee tastes best within a few weeks of roasting, and buying recently roasted beans can dramatically improve the flavor experience. Another important point is that specialty coffee companies often implement strict quality control processes. Beans are screened for defects before roasting, ensuring that damaged or poorly processed beans do not end up in the final product. This type of attention to detail is rarely seen in large commodity brands where massive quantities of beans are blended together to maintain consistent taste. Counterculture Counterculture also places a strong emphasis on ethical sourcing and sustainability. Many of their partnerships with farmers involve direct trade relationships, which help ensure growers receive fair compensation for higher quality beans. While sustainability claims are common in the coffee industry, transparent sourcing practices provide a more meaningful signal that a company values both quality and responsible production. Of course, no coffee brand is perfect, and even specialty coffee should still be consumed in moderation. But when comparing a company like Counterculture to heavily processed supermarket blends, the difference becomes clear. Instead of prioritizing shelf stability and mass production, Counterculture treats coffee as a craft product that deserves careful sourcing, roasting, and handling. For people who drink coffee every day, upgrading to a specialty brand like Counterculture can significantly improve both flavor and overall confidence in what they're drinking. It shifts coffee from a basic caffeine delivery system to a thoughtfully sourced agricultural product with character and integrity. Say brand number 2, Stumptown Coffee Roasters. Stumptown Coffee Roasters is another specialty coffee company widely respected for its commitment to quality sourcing and careful roasting practices. While many supermarket coffee brands prioritize convenience and mass production, Stumptown approaches coffee as a craft built around origin, freshness, and transparency. One of the defining features of Stumptown coffee is its focus on high-quality Arabica beans sourced from specific growing regions around the world. Rather than blending anonymous beans together for consistency, the company often highlights single-origin coffees that showcase the natural characteristics of a particular region. Coffee grown in Ethiopia, Colombia, Guatemala, or Costa Rica can each have distinct flavor profiles depending on climate, soil conditions, and processing methods. By focusing on these origin differences, Stumptown encourages consumers to experience coffee as a diverse agricultural product rather than a uniform commodity. Another major advantage is sourcing transparency. Many Stumptown coffees include detailed information about where the beans were grown and how they were processed. This transparency reflects closer relationships with coffee farmers and cooperatives. In specialty coffee, building direct partnerships with producers helps ensure better growing conditions, better harvesting practices, and fairer compensation for farmers who focus on quality. Roasting philosophy also plays a significant role in Stumptown's reputation. Instead of relying on extremely dark roasting to standardize flavor, Stumptown roasts beans to highlight their natural characteristics. This approach allows the unique qualities of each origin to shine through. Some coffees may develop notes of chocolate or caramel, while others might reveal subtle fruit, floral, or nutty flavors. By avoiding heavy roasting, the company preserves these natural compounds rather than burning them away. Freshness is another area where Stumptown stands out. Coffee begins losing aromatic oils shortly after roasting, which means freshness directly impacts taste. Stumptown prints roast dates clearly on their packaging so consumers know exactly when the beans were roasted. This encourages people to brew coffee within an optimal freshness window, rather than relying on products that may have been sitting in storage for months. Another advantage of specialty coffee companies like Stumptown is the absence of artificial flavoring additives. Many commercial flavored coffees rely on chemical flavor compounds to create dessert-like profiles such as hazelnut, vanilla, or caramel. While these additives are generally considered safe, they move the product further away from pure coffee. Stumptown typically focuses on unflavored beans that highlight natural flavor complexity instead of masking it. Quality control also plays a major role in specialty coffee roasting. Beans are carefully evaluated and sorted before roasting to remove defective beans that could negatively impact flavor. This attention to detail helps maintain a higher standard compared to large industrial roasters that process enormous volumes of beans quickly. Although specialty coffee like Stumptown may cost slightly more than typical grocery store brands, the price difference reflects more careful sourcing, better roasting techniques, and improved traceability. When coffee is consumed daily, investing in higher quality beans can significantly improve both the flavor experience and confidence in ingredient integrity. Ultimately, Stumptown Coffee Roasters represents a different philosophy from mass market coffee production. Instead of treating coffee as a generic caffeine product, the company approaches it as a craft built around origin, freshness, and careful roasting. For anyone looking to upgrade their daily cup, brands like Stumptown demonstrate what coffee can taste like when quality becomes the priority. So here's the real takeaway. Coffee itself isn't the problem. Low quality coffee is. When something becomes part of your daily routine, what you choose matters more than you might think. Over-roasted beans, anonymous sourcing, excessive processing, and months of shelf storage can quietly turn a simple morning habit into a low-quality routine without you even realizing it. But the good news is that upgrading your coffee doesn't require giving it up. It just means paying a little more attention to freshness, sourcing transparency, and roasting quality, choosing better beans, looking for roast dates instead of just expiration dates, and opting for brands that care about where their coffee comes from can completely change the experience in your cup. If this video helped you see coffee differently, hit the like button so more people can discover what's really inside their daily brew. Share Share this video with someone who drinks coffee every morning but has never thought about the quality behind it. And if you want more honest, eye-opening breakdowns of the foods and drinks people consume every day, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss the next video, because the next product we uncover might already be sitting in your kitchen right now.